This man in Brooklyn was getting his truck repoed. He said, you ain't taking my truck. I'm taking your truck. And what ensued was total destruction. There's like 5 different angles of this video on the internet. Your boy went Scorsese and put them all together for you.
Were you ever told a story or shown a video so compelling that you've already made up your mind and there was nothing imaginable that could ever change that? Well, after watching this interview, you're going to find out that there are always 2 sides to every story.
Now you're in New York.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Toots Sweet from the You Gotta Be Kidding Me podcast, and I am so excited to have this exclusive interview with Rusty Pipes on a video that went viral, watched by tens of millions of people, along with tens of thousands of comments, most of which misinformed and very nasty, that literally turned the lives of a good man and his 4 beautiful daughters upside down.
You gotta be kidding me. Did you think I'd go for that? You gotta be kidding me. Come on, cuz you know me better than that. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe that you're gone. You gotta be kidding me.
We're going to start this interview with the video that didn't go viral.
Yo, what's wrong with homie? He ain't going nowhere. He knows that?
Yo, what the?
Yo, he comes near me, I'm gonna bust him. He's lucky I didn't fucking stab that motherfucker, bro. So, if he comes to my door again, I'm cracking his fucking head, I promise you.
There's always 2 sides to every story, as we're going to find out as we welcome Rusty Pipes to tell his story. How you doing, Russell?
Thanks, Toots. Thanks for the interview. I've had a whole bunch of news companies walking up and down my block, interviewing my neighbors by my house, and social media companies asking me for interviews. And I haven't spoken about this with anybody. You're literally the first person I'm speaking about it publicly. I had to get the guys ready for work that morning, and I went around the block to pick up one of the vans to bring it around to the front of our shop so the guys can load the van up and get on their way off to one of the jobs. When I had turned the corner, I had seen him dragging my truck the wrong way and to that spot. And that's when I pulled up to him, jumped out of the truck, and immediately said to him, "Put that truck down. What are you doing with my truck? Who are you?" You know, and there, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact wording, but I basically put that truck down right away. You know,
you're like, dude, what the? Whoa,
yeah,
bro, what are you doing here?
I'm like, somebody's stealing the truck.
Okay, so now, right off the bat, this is different than what I assumed. When I saw the video, I thought your truck was parked illegally in front of that garage. It looked like your truck was parked illegally in front of a garage. So this guy was coming to tow it. And that's why when you read most of the comments, they're saying, well, he shouldn't have parked in front of that garage. So that your truck wasn't parked illegally in front of that garage.
No, that's not how it went at all. My truck was parked legally, about 6 parking spots from my office. I had seen him dragging it as soon as I turned that corner. My front tires were skidding on the truck. And so the whole truck was, jerking and bouncing and, down the block. What I was thinking in my head is, oh my God, he blew up the transmission.
So hold on. So your front tires are locked, basically. They're not rolling.
Yeah. No, they're locked.
So this guy's literally destroying your truck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or breaking something or, stealing it.
This is why it's so important to always see 2 sides of the story.
And the truth is that there is 2 sides to this story. And when I came into work that day, I never intended for any of this to happen.
I opened this window, I was like, oh my God! Yo!
Oh, that dude is nuts.
Yo! Bro! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yo! What the fuck?
Oh,
Okay, so now we're looking at it thinking that the whole thing started there, but that's not the case. Even me myself, I was like, wow, what the hell just happened here? It's just so confusing. And when you see it originally, you're like, all right, the dude had a really, really bad day.
This man in Brooklyn was getting his truck repoed. He said, you ain't taking my truck. I'm taking your truck. And what ensued was total destruction. There's like 5 different angles of this video on the internet. Your boy went Scorsese and put them all together for you. Now you're in New York. Concrete jungle where the Repo Man tries to steal your truck, but then you steal the Repo Man's truck back and turn it into real life Grand Theft Auto. There's nothing you can't do. My favorite part is he actually tries not to do damage at first. Look, he's like, let me pull back. I don't want to hit that Honda CRV, you know? Let me be safe to my fellow neighbors.
The only time I realized when something was going on is when I felt the whole truck jerk when I went around the corner and then realized that I had lost the vehicle, you know, that my truck had fallen off the truck. That tow truck has a diesel engine. It had a radio on. It had a CB stereo that was going on. And it was just such pandemonium in there at the time that I couldn't, there's no rear view mirror. You know, then it was plenty of times that you didn't hear in the tape where he was threatening me. And one time you did hear it is when he had his camera rolling on the truck. He had said in front of the guys that he was going to stab me and he was going to bust my face.
Yo, what's wrong with homie? He ain't going nowhere. He knows that?
Yo, what?
Yo, he comes near me, I'm gonna bust him. He's lucky I didn't fucking stab that motherfucker, bro. So, he comes to my door again, I'm cracking his fucking head, I promise you.
My plan was never to go steal somebody's tow truck and, you know, I was heading out on a mission to destroy things. That was never in my mind, never in my thought process, and that's not the person that I am.
When I first saw the video, I thought that the whole encounter happened there and he was hooking your truck up there. Now we find out, which we never knew, that he dragged your truck the wrong way down the block to get there.
In that situation, you think the guy's stealing your truck.
Exactly. What do you? It's like that's the first reaction of a normal thinking man. Yo, dude, what the hell is going on here? And he's acting like a wise ass. People are telling you he's gonna stab you.
He's lucky I didn't fucking stab that motherfucker, bro.
He's got your truck towed up. You can't get your truck off. The cops ain't there. Where the hell are the cops? How this didn't just happen in a second.
Exactly.
I mean, what the hell's going on here? And you know what else? This truck is a gold mine, not only because of the parts you can get from it, but because of all the tools you have in it.
Thousands of dollars just in power tools and, you know, ratchets and, you know, everything's in there to do the work that we do. It's a known fact that getting one of those trucks on the black market is gold for these guys.
That's right.
I've watched videos constantly in that borough, by the way, in the borough of Brooklyn, right there in Sunset Park. Whole scheme set up where they were towing away people's cars, bringing them, especially pickup trucks, because the parts are worth so much and you can't get any parts.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've been driving that truck for 3.5, 4 years.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Your truck was parked legally somewhere else, not where we saw it. The way he hooked it up from the back of your truck, and the front tires, the front wheels in this truck were locked. So he's dragging it down with the front wheels locked. And nobody saw this on the tape. This was nowhere to be seen because we only saw it when it was parked already, and that's where we thought the whole incident started. Is that what I'm getting here?
Yeah. There were many factors, as not many people have seen on the tape, as to why it escalated to the point it did. Yeah. That's just one of them.
First misconception, everybody thought that the truck was parked there illegally, and they're all saying, if you didn't want your truck to get towed, you shouldn't have parked it illegally, right? So that's the first misconception. Now, the next misconception is that I'm reading, and everybody's saying, if you didn't want your car to get repoed, you should have made the payments on the truck.
I never made a payment in my life on the truck. The truck was purchased for me through the company, and I had no reason to believe. No phone calls from the company, no emails, nothing to indicate that there would be any reason why they were looking for the truck or that the finance company was looking for the truck.
So you weren't responsible for making the payments on the truck. The payments would be made by somebody else. So when people are saying, why don't you make the payments? That's another misconception. Now, the next thing that would be on my mind is, did the guy ever show you paperwork? Because you don't see that either. You didn't ever hear the tow truck guy say, yo, I got the paperwork right here. This is the paperwork. You don't see that anywhere on the tape where he's saying, here's the paperwork, showing you the paperwork to calm down the situation. I didn't see that. So did he ever produce any paperwork showing that I got paperwork to take away your truck?
I asked him when I first got there, I asked him, where is the repossession paperwork? Where are the markings on your truck? Who are you? And the only messages I got out of him was, I'm the Repo Man. in a very sarcastic, screw you attitude. And I wasn't able to accept that. Not that anybody would accept that. There was no issues with my vehicle. Why are you taking my vehicle?
Dude, you're looking at your truck and you're like, somebody's stealing my truck.
Yeah, exactly, Toots. This is what I'm talking about. People coming out of their jobs, meetings, all day and night, their cars are missing. You see this all up and down TikTok.
This is literally the biggest scam in the world. If you would have let this dude take your truck, you would have been on the news for a completely different incident. You would have been on the news for another man gets scammed, thinking the guy was a repo man and gives him the keys to his truck and says, bye-bye. That's, his truck's gone forever at some scrap yard being cut down for parts and all his tools in it too, by the way.
Especially after what I've just been through with this, how you don't have to have an officer or some kind of professional to witness something like this, that the guy could just come up and take your property. It's just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, especially a guy like this with no markings on his truck, nothing on his shirt, nothing, no pad and pen, just a guy just out there just taking your truck. It just doesn't seem lawful. It didn't seem lawful to me.
You did the right thing. As far as nobody was there. There was no.
Listen,
the outcome of your actions might have been a little bit crazy, but your intentions were correct. Because this guy ain't letting your truck down. There was no cops there. He don't want to wait until a cop comes. He's threatening to stab you. He's going to break your face. Just saying to yourself, "Let me get the hell away from this maniac." I mean, only an idiot would have been like, "Okay, take my truck." I mean, what are you kidding me?
All this stuff's going through your head, and then all of a sudden you're saying, wait a minute, this is not right. Something's wrong here.
It was so unprofessional of this dude. And listen, if we were somewhere in the country where everybody's friendly and you're in Brooklyn. Yeah, I live in the city. All right, I know how the city is. It's not like we're upstate in the Catskills. We're in the city where there's a lot of bad dudes. And guess what? Like you said earlier, the truck, that is a gold mine, and the people are coming up with scams all day long. And to ride around with a truck without any kind of identification, and then to not present any kind of paperwork saying that I have the authority to do something. Are you kidding me?
It's just another factor. It's like, how would you know this guy? This is an arrogant guy who makes his living bragging about taking other people's property away from them, singing about it and making songs about it and joking about it.
I am a hooker, and hooking's what I do. Sugar boom boom, I'm out here repo and taking your shit from you. Sugar boom boom, I'll have you walking, cause you don't pay that note. Sugar boom boom, now that I have snatched your shit, it's time for me to go.
Who knows who's legitimate, who's not legitimate, who's taking cars, who's chopping the cars up, who needs to buy, cars for their engines or their body parts. What gives anybody the right to do what he did?
Let me tell you,
what was attempting to do.
Everything you wanted to do was right. You didn't know who this guy was. He's got a knife, that he wants to stab you. I mean, what is going on here?
I'm glad people are getting, a kick out of watching it. But the truth is, nobody got hurt. Thank God. And I'm just thankful to God for that. That's really what I have to, be thankful for in this situation. That's the only thing I have to be thankful, and get restitution to the people whose cars have been destroyed. That's what this is about now.
Russ, I totally agree. It was like that perfect storm.
It was a perfect storm.
And it didn't have to happen if a couple of things were done properly. If the police were there, if the dude would have showed you the paperwork saying that he had the authority to do this. I mean, the whole thing was like, it was literally the perfect storm. And you know something, Russ, this is where it really gets to me. And this is because I know you, man. You're like my brother. I love you to death. But,
I love you too.
But there's so much more to it. But and this is the one thing I want to talk about, just so people understand what goes into this. Russell has 4 beautiful daughters. All right. This video's out there, tens of millions of views and hundreds of thousands of comments. And people are literally tarnishing this guy's name. Tarnishing his name, his reputation, and his family, and his daughters have to put up with this, and they're getting the brunt. They're catching the brunt of this. And if you hear the truth and you think he's an asshole, that's fine. But you're not hearing the truth. You're hearing one side of the story from a video that was taken. Half of the video, we didn't even see it. I was confused by the video. So this is what people are making their opinions on. If you want to make an opinion on somebody, you have to know the truth about him. And then if you still think he's an asshole, that's fine. Personally, I think you're going to love him once you get to meet him, because I do. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Be blessed. and take it easy.
Ooh, say a prayer for me.
These are the four sins of Satan, Satan, Satan. Father Pachamama over and out.
You gotta be kidding me. Did you think I'd go for that? You gotta be kidding me. Come on, cuz you know me better than that. You got to be kidding me. Well, I can't believe that you're gone. You gotta be kidding me.